Hello and welcome to this video discussion on mental health and well-being for law students. My name's Lydia Font and I'm very lucky to be joined today by three mental health first aiders at BARBRI. We have Robert Dudley, Megan Yarwood and Natalie Bushell. Just to kick off our discussion, I'm really curious to know what is a mental health first aider and what kind of support they offer to students. So Rob, would you be able to walk us through what this is?
Sure, thanks, Lydia. A mental health first aider is somebody who's been trained and certified to help anybody experiencing mental health issues. We are taught as part of our training to approach those who have a particular need in a really sort of thoughtful way and respond in crisis, really. So here at BARBRI, we offer absolutely non-judgmental support and guidance to signpost our students to really access appropriate external professional sources. We also help promote awareness to our student body at really critical times that our students are at. So when, for example, someone's well-being and mental health can really suffer, like taking and starting a new course, balancing study and working, or other personal sort of commitments they might have at home, and exam and results time, of course, and fundamentally throughout their time with us. So it's an embedded service that all of our students can take advantage of.
Thanks very much. And so why is it so important to have these mental health first aiders at BARBRI? Megan, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's super important for BARBRI to offer mental health first aid support to students, as we want our students to succeed in their SQE journey. Studying at the best of times can be challenging for our mental health, but whilst balancing work, a family, and social life all on top of this, as many of our students are, it can seem impossible sometimes. So it's important that we offer the support system for those students that are facing these difficulties and that they can get the guidance and signposting that they need to oversee these challenges.
Absolutely. It sounds like a really, really vital program. So why did you choose to become a mental health first aider and give this support to students? Natalie, why did you choose to become a mental health first aider?
So it was initially a requested company to have some mental health first aiders to support employed staff back in 2019. And it wasn't anything I knew anything about, so I was quite interested to get involved. And it's surprising how invaluable I found the training, especially during COVID and post-COVID, when dealing with supporting my immediate team, supporting co-workers, and not just that in my personal life as well, with friends and family. And it's quite interesting how you pick up on certain things in conversations that you maybe wouldn't have picked up before. So when it was offered as well then to support our students, I jumped at the chance to be able to do that. I think sometimes someone just needs someone to talk to, and if I can help somebody through that, then that helps me too. So
Absolutely. It sounds like a very rewarding role.
it really is.
So my next question is focusing on the kind of stresses that students face when they're studying for their law exams, particularly the SQE. So what are the common mental well-being issues that students come across when they're studying for these tough exams? Meg, could I direct this one to you?
Yeah, of course. No call is the same. We speak to such a varied amount of students, with a wide range of concerns. However, the most common mental and well-being issues that students raise during their meetings with us, I would say, are around exam stress, how to feel going into the exam prepared and ready, different to actually on a legal knowledge side. The work-life balance, like we talked about earlier. We also come across students that have money concerns. Maybe that's paying for their exams or what they'll do next. And then also about career progression. Maybe they've not quite found that role that they thought they would just yet, but we're just there to support them with everything really. But they're the main ones I've come across.
That's great. So what are the coping strategies that you recommend to students who are suffering from these kind of issues and maybe exam stress in particular? Natalie, could I come to you for this one?
Yeah, so don't think about the end goal too much. It's quite a lot. It's quite overwhelming to think about what you've got to do in possibly a small period of time. Break it down into manageable chunks, tick it off bit by bit, and you'd be surprised in how far and how quickly you will get through that. Relaxation techniques really help. Meditation, deep breathing, also prioritizing sufficient sleep as well. I know sometimes that is quite challenging, but that is really important if you can do that. And I think the main thing that people tend to, especially when they're overwhelmed, they've got so much to do. The first thing to go is personal well-being, but it is really important. So looking after yourself, eating, sleeping better, getting a bit of exercise, a bit of fresh air helps with clear the cobwebs a little bit. And also step away from the books regularly rather than just sitting there sort of cramming in for the exam. Takes a step away, keeping up with your hobbies, keeping up with that support network with friends and family as well. It really does help.
Excellent. So we've talked about the Mental Health First Aiders programme. And just to wrap up our discussion, I'd like to know what other pastoral support is on offer at BARBRI to students in addition to these mental health first aiders. Rob, could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, comprehensive pastoral support is absolutely fundamental to any student's success in both their exams and their well-being, of course. But one of the key components that our students receive when they're studying with us is both access to learning coaches who are qualified lawyers to help sort of handhold them through their learning journey. And it really helps keep them on track and support their needs. A bit like a personal tutor, really, at university, along with a performance coach to give them learning and study techniques so that they can get the most out of their learning experience with us. So they're the kind of core pastoral elements, I suppose, that are core to our offering. In addition, all students have access to our wellbeing portal, of course, and that includes links to external support organizations and offering a whole range of services through those, but also includes a vast bank of content, articles, videos on maintaining well-being, such as mindfulness techniques and exercises, something that Natalie just mentioned, sort of helping improve their sleep and their routine, and of course, things like multitasking strategies as well. Interestingly, we were actually one of the first law schools to sign up to the International Bar Association's Wellbeing Guidelines. And this is an initiative for all academic institutions to commit to delivering wellbeing support in multiple ways. And ultimately, that kind of helps support students whilst they're at law school before they transition into the legal industry. There are so many issues once students get into the legal sector, like burnout or things like trying to prioritize their workload and time management, that really, they're faced with in their early years in the sector. So along with the IBA's initiative, we've also collaborated with Law Care, who are the legal sector's kind of main mental health charity. And that provides our students with safe, accessible, and of course, confidential and free counselling services as well.
Sounds like there's some really valuable and thoughtful resources on offer in that case. And this brings us to the end of our video discussion. Thank you very much, Rob, Megan, and Natalie for joining me and sharing your insights into supporting student mental well-being.